I'm Philip Caveney and I'm here today in my home city of Edinburgh to tell you about my latest novel, The Book of Secrets. Do you mind? I hate it when somebody's reading over your shoulder, don't you? Now, what's the book about? Well, this book is about a boy called Boy. Why is he called that? Let's find out. Of course, he had once had a proper name, the one his parents had given him at birth, but somehow over the years it had fallen into misuse, and he had eventually resorted to the thing that every visitor to the stables called him, Boy. As in, you boy, take this horse and feed him, or boy, bring me that shovel and be quick about it, or if he was particularly unlucky, I am going to beat you, boy, until you learn better manners. I'm going to read the blurb. Boy rides across the desert on a borrowed horse. His destination, the great city of Ravelin. He's carrying with him his most treasured possession, the Book of Secrets, which contains his late father's inventions that have the power to change the world forever. On his journey, Boy falls in with brigands who rob and leave him for dead in the harsh desert sands. In a turn of fortune, he is rescued by a group of eccentric travelling players led by the fearless Lexi. It just so happens that they are looking for a new leading man. Can Boy help them out by starring in their latest show? And in turn, can they help him track down the stolen Book of Secrets? Boy placed a foot on the bottom step and started to climb, horribly aware that his costume was rattling loudly with every move he made. He continued to listen as he went. Pompio's voice was now a little clearer. But where is he? He said he'd meet me here at 2 o'clock. That still wasn't his cue, Boy decided, but he would be coming at any moment. He took another tentative step upwards. Here he comes now! Boy twisted his head around. Was that the cue or simply a few lines before it? I said, here he comes now! Registering the urgency in Pompio's voice, Boy attempted to hurry up the last few steps, but caught one foot, tripped, and went flying onto the stage. He crashed head first onto the bare floorboards, making an ear-splitting racket, and slid a short distance on his belly. The audience erupted into gales of laughter. Pompio, panicking, slipped back into his next line as originally written. Ah, look how trippingly he approaches, he cried. Another blast of laughter came from the crowd. Boy attempted to get upright, but the weight of the armour made that a difficult task. He flailed helplessly around for a moment. Allow me to help you, my lord, improvised Pompio, stepping forward to give him a hand, and, as he staggered to his feet, Boy attempted to deliver his first line. Ah, Bartram, how handsome you look today, he spluttered. At which point, his metal visor swung shut with an almighty clang. The ensuing laughter sounded muffled to his ears, and it didn't feel encouraging. Boy lifted a hand to try and prise the helmet away, but it was momentarily stuck. My lord, where have you been these past few days? Asked Pompio. Boy obligingly gave him the next couple of lines, but from behind the helmet, all that emerged was a series of unintelligible noises. You've been in Marcadia, studying the local wildlife? That sounds fascinating, said Pompio, and now the laughter threatened to engulf everything else that was said. Here, let me help you with your visor, improvised Pompio, but because Boy was now standing, and Pompio was only a couple of feet in height, the bubo was obliged to leap up onto Boy's shoulders, where he swung his legs around Boy's neck and attempted to open the visor from there, putting all his strength into the task. Boy staggered helplessly around the stage for a few moments, raising his voice in a vain attempt to be heard, until finally Pompio got the visor open just in time for Boy's next line of dialogue to emerge as a bellow. Finally, I can see the dazzling future that lies ahead of me! The door opened and the landlord stuck his head into the room. I got somebody out here wants to talk to you lot, he said. Orson made a dismissive gesture. I think we've spoken to enough drunken autograph hunters for one evening, he said. No, the landlord corrected him, this is different. It's somebody from the press. He wants to interview you. The members of the company exchanged puzzled looks for a moment. What's the press? Asked Mo. What's an interview? Asked Pompeo. Orson shrugged. I haven't the foggiest, he admitted. He sighed. I suppose you'd better send him in. The landlord nodded, opened the door wider and ushered a young man into the room. He was a tall, skinny fellow, wearing a red jerkin, green tights and brown leather boots. His long face was accentuated by a neatly trimmed goatee beard, and Boy noticed that he carried a large leather satchel over one shoulder and some kind of stringed instrument across his back. He strode imperiously up to the table and performed an elaborate bow. Greetings, friend, he said. Archimaldo at your service. Orson examined the youth suspiciously. The landlord said something about an interview, he murmured. That is correct, said Archimaldo. He pointed a finger towards an empty stool. May I? He murmured. Yes, of course, said Orson. Archimaldo took a seat and cleared a space. He produced a pot of ink, a quill pen, and some parchment from his bag. He set them on the table. I represent Troubadours Unlimited, he said, grandly. He paused for a moment as if expecting a reaction, but when he didn't get one, he continued. I was fortunate enough to catch your performance earlier today, and I must say I was thoroughly entertained. So much so, I deemed it worthy of inclusion in this year's Moon of Elvis Festival Roundup. That's nice, said Orson. I'm sorry, I don't understand. How exactly does this work? Oh, forgive me. You're not familiar with our service? Archimaldo glanced around as though surprised and received blank looks from everyone at the table. Well, he said, I suppose we are fairly new. We? Echoed Lexi. Yes, there are 3 of us in the company, all based in different areas. Whenever a festival approaches, we gradually converge upon it. And as we travel, we stop off in each town along the way and sing the praises of the most promising shows we've seen. Think of it as advance publicity. Pompeo fixed him with a look. So, what, you write something about us? Well, more about the show itself, really. Its plot and so forth. Then I use my special talents to turn your words into a jingle. Boy was completely bewildered now. A what? A jingle. Oh, come now, you must have heard of the term. It's a short song extolling your virtues. I travel a day ahead of you, stopping in all the locations you will appear in, and I quite literally sing your praises. This tips off the local customers to your imminent visit and raises their expectations. He registered everyone's puzzled expressions and swung the lute on his back around to his front. Perhaps you'd like to hear a recent example of my work, he suggested. Oh, yes, please, said Grud. I like a sing-song. Excellent. Well, here's one I've recently written for Master Elgin's Travelling Pies. I'm sure you're familiar with their products. Again, Archimaldo received blank looks, but he continued undeterred. They are also headed for Ravelin, with the same stops along the way at most of the other shows. This idea is to get people in each new town salivating at the thought of those pies, and for customers to ensure they only buy from Master Elgin. This should give you an idea of how we work. He cleared his throat, put his hands to the strings of the lute and started to play a whimsical tune while singing in a clear and quite pleasant voice. Gather round, people, and hark to my song. It's short and it's merry and it won't keep you long. If you're looking for flavour to thrill and surprise, you need to try Elgin's most wonderful pies. They come in all flavours from savoury to sweet, the softest ripe fruit, the most succulent meat. And with prices this low, they're the keenest of buys. Make sure you try Elgin's most wonderful pie. Excuse me, Robert, could I have my book back, please? What? You think so? Why don't the kids do their own jingle? I wonder if they could. What, like a competition? Good idea, Robert. See you later. Gather round, people, and hark to my song. It's short and it's merry and it won't keep you long. If you're looking for flavour to thrill and surprise, you need to try Elgin's most wonderful pies. They come in all flavours from savoury to sweet, the softest ripe fruit, the most succulent meat. And with prices this low, they're the keenest of buys. Make sure you try Elgin's most wonderful pies.